Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about something very important, and that is tracking accurately in the MyFitnessPal. So, MyFitnessPal is the best program that's out there as far as tracking. It does have the largest database of foods. With that being said, some of the foods in the database are inaccurate, so it's important for you to recognize that and be able to make the appropriate changes. Now, if you're just starting out and you've never tracked calories, that's going to be really hard to do. And this might be something you have to figure out and make adjustments later as you're figuring out the app, which is fine. But it's best if you can do things accurate from the get-go because it saves a history of all the foods and everything that you log. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pause and I'll be back here. I'm going to pull up the MyFitnessPal on the computer here. Okay, give me 1 sec. It should be coming up here. There we go. Okay, so now when you're logging your food, you're going to add the food, and I am going to do a search on salmon. So you're going to search the food. Scanning the barcode, I've only seen it wrong once, but scanning the barcode is usually accurate, and it's coming from data that the company has entered in. So that's a premium function. So you have to have the paid version of MyFitnessPal to use that. But I'm going to show you how to search the food and then figure out what's accurate there as well. So we're going to search salmon. Now, salmon, this is one that I have entered in a long time ago because, again, that's how it saves the history. But I'm going to go ahead and hit search, and it's going to give me logs of different salmons that come up here. Now, this green mark means it's verified by MyFitnessPal. So when you really start getting into weighing and measuring your food, you might find that there's little small inaccuracies with this as well. And you can always back it up. I find Google to be very effective at doing a search on nutrition of salmon in this case, and it will give you pretty accurate data. Another thing, like when you're cooking meat, just as far as being more accurate, it's salmon cooked would be another example that you can do there. So I'll show you that. Cooked, because when you cook it, it actually weighs less, so the amount you'd actually have a little bit more protein in. So you can see cooked salmon here, 1 fillet. I'm going to click on that one right now, and it's going to take you to the next screen. And when you go to the next screen, you're going to have serving size, number of servings, and meal. Now, serving size, it's 1 fillet. Like 1 fillet can be, if you're looking at Costco, they're huge fillets. They're probably 2-3 pounds, like some of those fillets, or it can be a small fillet. So that's going to be a big difference in calories if you're looking at 1 pound versus a small fillet of, like, say 8 ounces, about a half of a pound. It's going to be a big difference in calories, so it does make a difference. So I'm going to go ahead. You're going to hit 1 fillet, and you're going to see down here the select unit. You can do 3 ounces, grams. You're going to see a variety of things that come up. Sometimes you're going to be like 1 cup. And you're going to see different things come up when you do it. Let me go back and just hit one of the others. I'm going to hit oven cooked here. This one's listed in grams. Whenever you see it in grams, which is what I recommend weighing them in, that means 1 serving is 100 grams. Now, if you want to do the serving size here, you would go ahead and hit the grams here. And you're going to hit the 1 gram down here. And then you weigh it on your scale in grams. Say it was 111 grams, and you enter that in. Now, this is what you want to match up. So you'd want to do a Google search on like 111, and Google's getting pretty good at this. But put like about 110 grams of salmon is how many, or nutritional value. You can put it like 110 grams of protein is what nutrition value, and then it'll generally give you, like, as you do the search, it'll give you the protein, carbs, and fats, and you want to make sure that they match up or are relatively close. When you really get into tracking, you're gonna see how being accurate is almost impossible, because it's just the variables of whether you cook it, how much of water you cook out of it. There's just a lot to it. But this puts you in line very close to the ranges you need to be. And then when you save it, you just save it in here. But that is how you change the serving size. And you can see when we hit the 1 gram there, you got 100 grams, you got 3.5 ounces, which is 3.5 ounces is about 100 grams. I think it actually is 100 grams, or 1 ounce. Again, grams is the most accurate, but that is how you do track the grams and ounces, and it is the best way to do it. And then you can actually do salmon grams, and generally, like if you are doing grams, and it'll give you cooked salmon in grams. And this is generic, and we'll look at that and kind of match it up just so we can use it. For example, 1 gram, we had 111 there in that last one. So 22, I think it was 24, and I think it was 12 grams. I didn't memorize them, but you can see that it's a little off, but it's still right around that range. So this would be one if I was personally entering. I'd be like, okay, this is a good measure here. And you can see 1 container, 130 grams. And you're going to see this a lot. Sometimes you're going to see ounces, grams. You'll have 1 pound. Sometimes there's a whole bunch of units. Sometimes it would just say 1 container. That is not one that I would use. I would go do another search and find one. And this is the initial work as you're learning how to do it, and you're trying and working on tracking accurately. So it is initially a little bit more work, but it's the work you're putting in. Don't look a lot of times like it's like, I got to do this extra work. That extra work is what educates you and really teaches you at a deeper level. And you need to learn these things. Like, it is important, and it's going to help you so you can make the proper decisions moving into the future. So yes, it is going to be a little bit more work, but I do recommend putting in the work, because when we work hard at something, we develop the skills, because all this is learning the skills and having the ability to, there's the family center, my phone shut off there. But it gives you the ability to make the proper decision. So, and like, even if I don't have it in videos here, you can do searches on YouTube of how to track accurately as well. But this should give you a good basis of how to start tracking accurately. And I'll just quickly kind of pull up here. Oops, hit the wrong one there. Okay, so I don't know why I don't have Facebook pulled up on my page here, so that's why. But let's just do salmon, just so I can show you, for example, salmon nutrition. I'm a slow typer. I don't like typing on my phone, but bear with me here. Okay, and generally, and then see, Google's getting better, because it's really laying out all the nutritional facts, and these are based on the USDA, which you can put USDA in your searches as well. I should have said that before, because usually that is what you're looking for. But we can go in, and sorry, I should have put 100. See, it's been a while since I've done this, but 100 grams here, and you can go in and we can base it. So you can see that's about 13 grams of fat, so that puts us around that 12 grams that we had there. 20 grams of protein. It's not going to have any carbohydrates in it, and if it does, there should be a red flag there, because they're adding something to the food if it has carbs. Like a lot of times, like salmon, if you put some type of sugar on it, because you can coat it with brown sugar, that means that they're adding added sugar to it. Salmon does not have any sugar added to it naturally. But this does put you around the ranges. So 20, and it's like, so those ranges I would personally be okay with if I was entering it. But this is the initial work. Google search nutrition, and you can even put ounces or grams in. And Google's getting better, because this is better than what they used to when I used to do this on a regular basis. So and then you're developing and educating yourself through the process. So don't look at this work as being like, I got to do extra work. Look at this as like, okay, I'm building my knowledge base so I understand what I'm consuming, because this part is important, and that's what I'm trying to get you to get through this training. So anyway, very important video here. I hope you got a lot out of that. But that is, tracking accurately is important, and this is some of the details of how you track and see the amounts in the food.